Hello, Guru listeners and fellow quarantiners. For April's podcast, I want to talk about the things I am learning about myself and life as we go through this pandemic. With so many unknowns surrounding us, I thought it would be good to focus on learnings and little epiphanies I have experienced throughout this journey. And I would love to hear all of yours as well. This podcast is not just about me, it's about all of us. So feel free to share the gifts and teachings you have received during this ride we are all on. You can write me at janeturlow.com, follow me on Instagram or Twitter at janesgurugab, or subscribe to my podcast at YouTube, SoundCloud, or Apple Podcast. And for those of you who currently subscribe and follow me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So welcome to podcast number 9, everyone. Shelter in Place Epiphanies. As I go through life, I learn more and more about myself every day. I always try to pause and reflect on life events, big or small, so I can learn and foster the takeaways. There's no doubt this pandemic has allowed me to pause, reflect, and sit with my thoughts. At the beginning of this crisis, I was so scared and emotional. My feelings were not being channeled in any direction but the direction of fear. It didn't help that I was glued to the television, and I noticed the more I watched the media, the more anxious I would get. Then I would cry and start thinking about all the death and devastation. I would totally get spun up. My husband noticed my anxiety, so he would say to me, "Let's watch something that makes us laugh. Let's go for a walk. Let's shut the TV off. Let's talk about how you're feeling." That balance helped me. Now, I'm still fearful, but I am also hopeful and grateful. We will get through this. I truly believe that. So speaking of my husband and being hopeful and grateful, him and I have been home together, working and living 24/7 under the same roof since March 14th, my birthday. See, before COVID-19, my husband always worked from home. So he was used to sharing the house with the dog for 10 to 12 hours a day. He had his routine, as I had mine. With my workday and commute, I usually left the house about 7:30 in the morning and would be home around 6:30 at night. So now, 2 people under the same roof, 24/7 with minimal separation. What's that like? Well, I'm sure a lot of you out there can relate. Let me tell you though, guys, it's been wonderful. As a matter of fact, my husband and I were just talking and saying that it's been amazing that we have not been on each other's nerves or irritated each other to the point of no return. Frankly, we have become closer. We've always laughed a lot, but I think we laugh more now because we create little, lively, silly banter with rhymes and songs, silly stuff that partners do. We have taken this time to capitalize on silly, fun behavior and savor the time we are together. Now, this doesn't mean that we aren't totally aware of what our world is going through and that we are not deeply appreciative of all the healthcare workers at the front lines, because we most certainly are. But what it does mean is that we are taking this time to just be. I have also noticed, unlike when I was going to the office and chained to my desk 10 to 12 hours, I am taking time to exercise and actually walk away from my desk and take lunch. I have noticed being holed up in my house has fostered more self-care and couples care, and that is a beautiful thing. So, will being sheltered in place reveal what our relationships are truly made of? I mentioned self-care and how mine has increased. I am doing more of the good things like meditating, which I normally do, but I've boosted up the number of days I do. Exercising, which I try to do, but it wanes, it goes back and forth. I hate it, but I know I have to do it, so I'm doing it. Reading, resting, and laughing. And I have been forced to let go of the quest for perfect nails, ideal pedicures, perfectly colored hair to hide the never-ending gray, my quest for perfect eyebrows, and no stray hairs under my chinny chin chin. I mean, I still want to look good, of course, But I am working with what I have right now, and that feels freeing. As a matter of fact, I am so okay with it, I posted an au naturel video on Instagram the other day. Check it out. Anyway, my whole point is that I'm learning and loving the opportunities I have had during this time of difficulty. I am grateful for everything, truly. Not to say that I won't argue with my husband again, or cover my gray when I can go back to the salon. Of course I will. But the pressure and quest for perfectionism is waning, and folks, it feels amazing. There is something about comfort within oneself that brings peace. And soulfully, I have been there for years, but externally, I have not. And right now, it feels wonderful. I mean, the fact that I'm sharing this with all of you says something, doesn't it? Be safe, take care of yourselves. Until next time.